Hi guys, because I read that's a thing. Welcome to Last Call of the Gilded Troll, where we talk about our past campaigns and we drink. Cheers.
It's true, we drink.
I don't do that because I'm a nerd.
That's right, just act drunk. It's fine. So this is something we're doing on Fridays at 7 p.m. just to kind of stay connected with everyone, and quarantine sucks and we're all lonely, so it's a good excuse to talk to you. So by popular demand, we're going to talk about ToA, which is something that I was a player in, Luke was a player in, and Mike. Welcome back, Mike. Yay!
You haven't been on our stream for like, well, I mean, since Curse of Strahd speedrun, I guess.
Can't get rid of me that easy.
Yeah, and you were busted in the speedrun.
Hey man, just because I had infinite characters doesn't mean I'm strong.
You need to mute that shit.
I did! Relax!
For those of you who don't know, ToA stands for Tomb of Annihilation, which is the sixth
I was waiting for somebody to say
fifth major adventure module. Seventh. It's the seventh.
Jeez, make up your mind, dude.
It's the seventh major adventure module book released by Wizards of the Coast for 5th edition. Also known as Season 7 in Adventures League. If it weren't for Adventures League, I would not know what order these fuckers are in. I really wouldn't.
Isn't that when Adventures League started going like crazy downhill?
Yeah.
The ToA stuff is actually kind of okay.
Okay, so Season 7 got really, really fucky because one of the main things with
the
Adventures
checkpoints.
League... No, that was actually Season 8.
Yeah.
But in Season 7, they introduced the Death Curse, and they're like, yeah, it applies in AL. If you do CCC modules, which were not written with the Death Curse in mind, that has Death Curse too. And when the season first started, there was no mechanism to recover literally anything. There was no mechanism to like join the campaign with another character. So the campaign was essentially unplayable because it sort of assumes if one of your players has a character die, you're just gonna roll a new character and join the party,
Lame.
you know, like you normally do in most campaigns if the players don't have a way to resurrect them. And people hated it because they're like, I've been working on this AL character for months. If they die, I don't get to play anymore. And then they introduced the surrogate system where you get a surrogate character who is just a pre-gen. And then...
which I feel like is...
It's a half measure, I think. It was fucking...
And there were only particular ones, right?
Yeah, so there was one surrogate for each class. So like the rogue was a grung, the warlock was a yuan-ti, and it's just like it was
Were they
kind of
already subclassed, or could you pick the subclass?
all of them were subclassed because all the surrogates were level 3. Yeah.
So unless you're super into the story and you really want to keep going, like if you like making powerful characters, like fuck you.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, if you finish the story with your surrogate, you free your original character's soul if it hasn't already been devoured.
But you don't get any of the XP and stuff, right?
You do. All of that would be transferred to your original character.
Pick up your shit.
The surrogate just doesn't have any of the magic items that you would have had before.
It does.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, so the surrogate gets all the magic items that your original character had, and your original character gets all the surrogate's magic items when the surrogate leaves.
So it's a really fucked up video game. Like,
yeah, it was.
Pick up your shit where you died.
It was really fucky, and
No,
it's you may.
You die, and then the grog walks into your camp, calls dibs, and everybody's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Dibs.
None of us can speak his language because the grung pre-gen can't speak common.
Oh god.
Oh, it's so dumb.
Yeah, the grung pre-gen can't speak common.
That's worse than a Kenka.
You had someone in a party that chose grung.
Yeah.
Did you let him just say things?
No.
Really?
Well, so it was kind of convenient because at a table of 20 and 30 somethings, and I guess 40 somethings because Jacobs was there. This was a 16-year-old kid, and he was very shy. He was very soft spoken. He would go entire sessions without saying anything anyway. So it was kind of convenient. But then later on, they found a Helm of Telepathy, so he could cast Detect Thoughts, and then while he's detecting someone's thoughts, he could bonus action send a message to someone. So it was sort of like the sending spell, but line of sight. It was more like message, I guess.
The message spell.
Yeah.
It was more like message, I guess, yeah.
Let's talk about ToA.
I mean, we are talking about ToA.
We are.
That brings up a good point.
Yeah.
So one of the questions I know you prepared was, how did you prep for it? And that brings up a good point. I ran 2...
just host yourself at this
I
point.
am
Like, I'll be here.
Dude, like, my IRL charisma is like 18.
Oh, please. 4.
Thanks. So one of the really interesting things that I ended up doing for ToA is I ended up running multiple campaigns at the same time. So when I first started DMing ToA, I didn't have a home group that I wanted to play with. Like I didn't know if I had a group of players that would fit the content. I didn't really know the content very well. So and around the same time, I wanted to get involved in Adventurers League because it seemed cool. It seemed like a neat way to meet new people
and poach them.
Mm-hmm. That's how we poached Megan and Sean and Jacobs, and I think that's it. I think that's all I got in that year of DMing. But so I started DMing some Season 7, which is the ToA season of Adventurers League. I started DMing some Season 7 modules at the local game store. And then after, I want to say like 6 weeks or so, we had a core set of 4 or 5 players that always showed up. And then like 3 to 4 others that sort of rotated in, showed up every 3 weeks or so. But with that core group of 4 or 5, I was like, we can run an actual campaign. Yeah. So I dovetailed it into the actual module, which had like just come out.
Now, what was the last Adventurers League module that you ran with that you could easily transition into ToA the campaign?
So I ran, believe it or not, very few modules repeatedly.
Did you?
Yeah. So Season 7 has. I want to say it's literally just 4 modules at tier 1, which is levels 1 through 4. It's got 0701, which is a bunch of mini adventures, and then 0703, 4, and 5. And then after that, you have to go into tier 2 stuff. And the tier 2 stuff is, I would say, mostly garbage. But
garbage.
You know, I ran. Hey, Shadows Assassins now hosting us with 1 viewers. Oh god, that alert box should be above everything else. There we go. And also it should be taller.
Oh, hi.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I think I need to change the font size on this fucking thing.
Why?
Because it's getting cut off.
Oh.
Whoops.
I don't know how to fix
Alright, well, he's fucking with shit. Our characters are actually at the top right-hand corner of your screen.
Under the alert. Under the alert.
Oh shit, the alert.
Oh, the alert went away. Cool.
Oh, did it? Alright, cool. Our character art is there, done by Alex Bayless, who did, our current Avernus stream, who did Dungeon of the Mad Mage, all those characters.
Check them out at MrBayless.com.
Yeah.
MrBayless.
And unfortunately, we didn't stream this one because this was, we determined like 2-ish years ago, and we started streaming it about a year ago, so.
Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Just the overlapping.
Oh, yeah.
We always have to technically.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's
like,
just us.
It's fine.
Just hit the button hard enough.
Yeah, like, I know enough to fix problems as they come up, not to fix them before they come up.
We're like 5 drinks in.
I mean...
So you were able to transition into a campaign with those group of players.
Yeah, so I transitioned from the AL modules into the campaign, and then like 2 months into their campaign, I managed to put together a home group, and we started.
Yeah.
The 4 of us.
I didn't realize we started after.
Yeah, definitely. It was significantly after. It was like 3 or 4 months after the store game, but we'd only gotten so far into the module because of all of those AL modules that I ran.
Were we still playing New Zerillion when you started doing this?
New Zerillion is our homebrew.
I don't think so.
I know. I think that was... No.
Or was it Curse of Strahd that we were playing? I don't remember what we were playing at the time.
You started doing AL when we moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played Curse of Strahd there. Right?
We played Curse of Strahd here?
Yeah.
Or at our last place? I remember...
I think we played it at the place you're at now.
No, because Chris moved to Chicago shortly after we moved in here.
True.
Yep.
So no, there was no overlap between any of the other campaigns at that
So what were we playing before that, then?
I don't think we were playing for a little bit.
It was Storm King's Thunder.
Oh, yeah. That's it. That piece of shit that no one remembers.
Okay, so that's why we didn't start ToA here immediately, because we were already playing Storm King's Thunder.
Yeah.
Mike looks so sinister.
Just the lighting.
I love it.
But yeah, so it was really interesting because
Darius behind you. I thought you had Jesus behind you or something.
Wait, what?
He has Darius behind him.
Oh god.
No, the 3D printed Doris.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about behind me. Shit.
No, behind Mike.
He's gonna get it now.
Enjoy my robed ass. Bam, motherfucking.
That's
God, your
3D
camera
Now
quality
printed.
is so...
sexy.
That's 3D printed on Ian's printer, which was a prior campaign.
That was
we
like
did.
the third thing I ever printed.
Yeah. And then Mike painted it. It's very color blocky. We respect anyway.
Hey man, Doris is colorblind. Don't judge him.
Have you ever encountered and or used TDOMT? I don't know what that acronym is.
Dungeon
That damn old mother.
It's
trucker.
something dungeon. No, it's not.
Nah, I just
What is
googled it. I'm getting.
Oh, the deck many things.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So we've had the deck of many things in
Watch
Tyranny
our
of Dragons,
Dragon of Icefire Peak
Yes.
into.
Lost Laboratory Aqualish.
We
You have the
did
deck
have a
of
deck.
several things,
Oh,
which
sorry,
is
my
slightly
bad.
different.
Sorry, my bad.
It's essentially the same thing. It was just some of the effects were modified to do the same thing but specific to the campaign. So like the dungeon card, instead of just teleporting you to some extra dimensional, it literally teleports you to the dungeon of the monastery, which is
Okay.
the location of that campaign.
Don't ever put me or
Hey,
Luke
that
in
one
front of a
guy
deck of
entered
many
the
things.
monthly giveaway.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pull all
I
the
did learn
cards.
that.
Yeah, you'll pull all the cards. But yeah, so as for prepping, it was one thing that I really enjoyed was that
The deck of go.
I was
fuck your
able to
campaign.
prep once and run twice, and then playing an adventure, hilariously, ironically enough, is the best way to prep it. So I would run content for the store game,
Ready?
and then a month later I would run that same content for the home game because the home game moved a hell of a lot fucking faster. And
It's something I.
Eventually we passed them, right?
you caught up to
Yeah.
them, and then at the moment you caught up, I coincidentally decided to stop running at the store. It wasn't because you caught up.
Coincidentally.
It literally wasn't.
Into
It wasn't because you decided. It wasn't because you caught up. They just happened to happen at the same time.
They were a game store. They weren't a friendly game store.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't played ToA, there's gonna be spoilers.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of spoilers.
Oh god, did we actually have to say that?
There's a tomb.
Probably.
There's annihilation.
There is annihilation.
There's a motherfucking
But yeah,
death.
prepping it was surprisingly easy. Reading chapter 2 is kind of a slog because it's so long, and you kind of want to find the things that are interesting to you as a DM, and then make them interesting to the players.
Chapter 2 was the Hex Crawl.
Chapter 2 is the Hex Crawl, yeah.
Okay.
You want to find the things that are interesting to you, and then make them interesting to your players so that they go to those places. And then what ended up happening was I ran it for the store game, and they went one way, and then I decided I don't want the other game to go the same way, so I made different things interesting to you. I dropped different hooks at you in different ways to try and entice you to go a very different way,
Did
and
the
you
module
did.
help you do that?
Did it help me do that? No. So there was, and this is 2 years ago, so I don't, probably more than 2 years, probably 3 years ago.
Longest time ago.
Let's go with 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
It was a while ago, but I want to say that there were really useful resources that the community put out, and by the community I mean like Reddit communities, where they had like charts of how locations drop hooks to other locations. Because chapter 2, the Hex Crawl, is a very location-based adventure. You go to a place, you do a thing. Okay, cool. Now where do we want to go? And occasionally you'll drop a hook to another place.
I'm trying to think of what we would have latched on to that you put in front of us, as opposed to other choices that we didn't know about.
So one of the things that you guys very, very much latched onto, and hilariously I can't remember why, was Firefinger. So there was this tower.
Sounds cool.
I mean, it does sound cool. There's this
It's a
tower
finger
in the
fire.
middle of the jungle with fire, with some ever burning fire at the top of it, and it's essentially like a lookout tower. And there was a bunch of Terra folk, and I think actually the Terra folk were the reason that you guys wanted to go there, because they had
Yeah.
something to do with the Grung that had something to do with Dendar, who was Siku's warlock patron.
Right.
Weren't there
Don't
Terra,
know if that was the reason.
Weren't there Terra guys, whatever, like kidnapping people?
Mhm.
No, that was Aarakocra. If you're
No.
thinking about the princess.
No, they were.
The princess
killing
was an
people.
Aarakocra.
And,
No.
like,
The
turning them into
princess lived
bugs or
with
something?
Aarakocra.
I'm
Turning
gonna
them
rename
into
this
bugs.
episode. Watch us try to
Like-
remember something from 3 years ago.
Turning
They're like,
them into
there's
bugs.
something about they kidnapped a whole bunch of people, and we found the people, and like all
Yep.
of them were dead except one, and it was a tabaxi.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now I'm remembering. Yeah.
Yep.
And I forget what they were doing with them, and they were working for somebody else.
Was that Screaming Wind?
No. Screaming Wind
No.
hired you to find them.
I was bagging nails.
No. Bag of Nails
Damn it.
was in.
Oh, I do remember
no.
that bullshit. We had a bag and we had to go to the bag store.
That's
Yeah.
the best fucking name. It's just so stupid, but it's the best.
What, Bag of Nails?
Yes.
No, Screaming Wind hired you to find some missing people. You found the Terra folk had kidnapped them and they were eating them, but what you ended up discovering was that the Grungs stole some of those kidnapped people from the Terra folk and were sacrificing them to Dendar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't
yeah.
think you put 2 and 2 together until way later.
All right,
Yeah,
I
Probably
until
we
went
are
to-
idiots.
What was the place called? Dungrunglung or something?
Dungrunglung. Yep.
real quick, because no one else has any context. Describe your characters. Go.
Go.
Because, like, no one knows that Siku had fucking shit with Dendar. So just
Also, I
briefly
have the
describe.
chat, like, under the character portraits, but I think it looks like shit.
Perfect.
Does that look bad?
It's not great.
It's not great.
Alright, I'm gonna fix that.
Alright, so
So go ahead and
Mike, tell us
describe
about
your
Siku.
characters.
Okay, so Siku Amakir, he was a sorcerer, and he wanted to become stronger, and he
The chat
bumblefucked
screwed out.
into a pact with Dendar, and basically suckled on her teat for power,
As warlocks do.
as warlocks do. He was bothered by nightmares, so he decided, nah, fuck it, I'm just not gonna sleep. And he never slept. And
Coffee lock.
for those familiar with Coffee Lock, yeah, basically
Not
he
cocaine lock.
that was later.
Yeah.
He took the short rest spell slots that he got from Warlock, burned them into sorcery points, and then converted them into sorcerer spell slots, which have no limit. So
Yep.
infinity spell slots.
All the spells.
Yep.
And
By the end of the campaign, I think you had something like 200 spell slots.
Hang on, I probably still have it.
hold up. It's
Steph,
here
I'll go
somewhere.
last. You can go. You can go
Oh,
next.
God.
Resources.
Alright, so I was a sorcerer with a background in
I?
entertainer.
What was your name?
Dude, I don't remember. Izzy Amakir.
There you
Who
go.
came up with that fucking last name? Was
I
that
didn't.
me? You
No.
did?
I think it was
Alright.
Luke.
Sounds
It was
Uh,
like
Aaron.
I was Siku's twin sister, and Ander, which is Luke's character, was our dad.
Your deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat dad. We were.
no, our absentee dad.
Absentee.
Were we half elves? Or we were.
Yes.
Okay.
All of us were half
You were-
elves.
You were
Quarter
technically 3/4 elves.
Right.
Yeah,
So half elf.
So half
Um,
elf.
And my shtick was I wanted to be responsible for bringing back Uteo.
Uteo.
Because I wanted the glory of Dendar being defeated, and that was the thing that Uteo was supposed to do, was to
Yeah, so
destroy Dendar.
the prophecy says that when Dendar returns, Uteo will return to fight her. So you were trying to bring Dendar back.
So yeah, me and brother got like similar goals, but he didn't know the actual motives.
What was your class, Steph?
I
Shadow
said-
Sorcerer.
Oh, Shadow Sorcerer. I forgot Shadow.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Oh,
were,
yes,
just,
I
you were
was-
just full class Shadow Sorcerer.
Yes. And then I had a bunch of really cool magic items that made okay,
Like
I had
Staff of the Magi,
Staff of the Magi,
because
and-
Adventures League is stupid.
Ring of Spell Storing, Pearl of Power, which is like,
Yeah.
All that's in the art, though. Not that you can see that detail on your fucking screen, but our art is, like, really cool, and it has all of our magic items on it. It's great.
Alright,
Ander!
Wait, he doesn't have a locket on that one. Oh my
I don't have.
God.
Oh,
I don't have the
no!
locket. Oh fuck!
Oh,
I thought this was the most updated
In
version.
more
Shit.
updated art of Ander, he has a locket that has a picture of my character and Mike's character.
would
Because
have
he's
been,
that
like-
dad.
20 pixels tall.
Honestly, not even.
Jeez. Hi, Fox.
Alright, describe your character.
I played Ander Amakir. He was a warlock fighter. champion to he was a crit fisher pretty much, but
As well as
he
you
was-
can do that in 5th edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it pretty
He
well.
did it pretty well.
I
I
think
mean,
the highest you can get is 26%.
Oh yeah, with the fucking.
it was
with the
20,
elf
it was
advantage,
27%
yeah.
chance to hit to crit per attack, and then you had 2, sometimes 3 attacks per turn, which ended up being, I want to say, 54% chance to crit on each of your turns.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
And always advantage because of our darkness cheese.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he was Hexblade, so he had Eldritch Smite.
I was a mercenary and the father of these 2 chuckle fucks.
Father.
And I don't know if we're gonna go back into the whole like how we started the campaign or anything, but the reason I was an absentee father and then the player characters met back up over the funeral of my wife who died, and
Hit it and quit it.
yeah. And yeah, over the course of the adventure, I tried to be a better dad and all that.
And
With
it
some
actually,
success.
It actually worked really well. So that to me is like the best session 0. It's like all of us are related and all of us had the same goal at that point. Ian opened the campaign with, "This is your mom and / ex-wife's funeral. We
Go.
can't bring her back."
Yeah,
What do you
she's
do?
dead, and no magic will bring her back because death curse.
Right. So that was a really good hook. Lunarai had
And
a
all-
question. He's screaming.
Lunaraya asks, did the party trigger the obelisk encounter outside the tomb? So I would like to go on record to say, fuck Puffin Forest.
Yeah.
Because that guy is an idiot.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Alright, so Puffin Forest is a YouTuber. He put out a video about the obelisk encounter. So there's an obelisk outside of the Tomb of Annihilation, or sorry, the Tomb of the Nine Gods.
Okay.
And he's like, oh yeah, it's like super easy to knock it over, and if you knock it over, it summons a Nikoloth, but the Nikoloth encounter is stupid and boring. Alright, so number 1, in order to knock the obelisk over, it requires a combined strength of 60.
Oh,
60? I thought it was
shit.
30. Jesus.
Generally, that's going to require at least 4 characters. At
Here we
least
are with
4
3.
characters, because what are the odds you have 3 characters with exactly 20 strength?
Yeah, shit.
At that level 0.
At number 2,
Yeah.
you were 2 sorcerers and a hexblade. I think you might have had a combined strength of 30.
And somehow
Yeah.
we were still relatively balanced. Either that or you did
Sorry,
a
now
really
fetch
good
me, not
job.
a Nikoloth.
Oh, yeah. Either that or you did a really good job at balancing fights, because shit was still hard without it being impossible for the 3 of us.
You want to know how I balanced fights?
Yeah.
I did nothing.
Cool.
I ran them as written, and you guys were that busted, despite being only 3 players.
To be fair, we practically always had advantage on all of our
Yep.
shit, and all the enemies always had disadvantage on all their shit.
Yeah.
we should
Darkness
probably explain
cheese.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
our
so-
shit was darkness.
So,
You're
Izzy,
welcome.
Izzy as a shadow sorcerer had the ability to cast shadow using 2 sorcery points instead of a spell slot. If she did
Cast
so,
darkness.
what did I say?
Shadow.
Yeah,
Shadow.
cast shadow.
Shadow.
She cast Shadow the Hedgehog. She cast
Oh
darkness
god.
using 2 sorcery points instead of a spell
Damn,
slot. If
not
she
here.
did so, she can see through it. And then the other 2 characters were warlocks who had Devil's Sight, so they
Yup.
could all see through the darkness.
Did we come up with that because we thought we would have problems with things, and we're like, all right, we need to optimize somehow, or was that just
No,
the
we
way
were
to go?
just like, it's a what is our family gimmick? And
Yeah.
we ended up coming with.
So we did it for role-playing reasons? I don't believe that.
I think we just stumbled across it. Like, you were Shadow Sorcerer, so, like, you could see through dark. That was
I
just,
think
fucking got that.
I think I picked
And then-
Shadow because of it, though.
I think you picked Shadow because I was Divine Soul, and you wanted to be an opposite so you could be contrarian.
That makes
Or
sense.
contrary, fuck. But I'm pretty sure it was just, hey, she can do darkness and see through it. Me and Luke, oh, we can also do
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Let's pick up the fucking invocation to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job, us.
I'm trying to remember how many levels Luke had in War. No, he was Fighter 3 Warlock X. Because
Yeah,
it was.
your plan was to go to Warlock 17 to get Foresight, so that you would
Mhm.
just have always advantage.
And
Fuck,
we-
I don't need darkness anymore. I get Foresight.
And then we beat the campaign at what level?
So you finish the campaign at level 10.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
Wow,
You
really?
finished it, yeah. Because so there was this
That has
bullshit.
Staff and the Magi at level 10?
What? What's that?
It has Staff and the Magi?
No, you got that at level 11. after we
Oh.
finished the campaign.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So the reason you guys finished level 10 was because Adventures League is stupid. So all of the tier 2 modules for Adventures League are written... They're super ambiguous, but they're written in such a way that suggests that they take place after the book. So the Death Curse is gone, and, the spoilers, the Atropol is destroyed, the Soulmonger is destroyed, and you have to clean up the sort of, goo, the remnants, the necrotic gunk that the Atropol exploded into all over Chult.
The placenta.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the placenta. No, the Soulmonger was the placenta.
Ah, okay.
Wait, I'm gonna get the mini. Hold on.
Oh god.
Yeah, you had to clean up, but the problem was all the tier 2 modules were designed for level 8. And in Adventures League, if you're running tier 2 content, the Death Curse exists. Period. So Adventures League and ToA don't go together. But the reason that you guys finished the campaign at level 10 was I wanted you to be able to do those
Meet the
post
Atropol.
ToA adventures AL legal.
Isn't he pretty?
That's the aborted god fetus.
That is the aborted god
Look, it even
fetus.
has a tiny little butt. Look at its butt.
Stop showing off its cloaca, Steph. God.
Jeez, dude. We're gonna get banned for Twitch for that. Just watch.
Um,
Because they ban literally everyone.
Yeah. So that's why you finished at level 10. You should have finished at level 11, maybe even 12. But we did sort of transition into the tier 2 and tier 3 Adventures League modules before fizzling out. Because the tier 3 modules are garbage.
Alright, so because we're all over the place,
Yeah.
give a really brief summary of what ToA, what you're supposed to see in ToA and its barest bones.
Okay.
How's the story supposed to go?
Alright. So
I'm supposed to be doing a host thing and I keep forgetting.
real quick, I will get back to it. Lunariah asks, or he says, surprised you didn't use Atropus for that, even if he isn't in 5e. Atropus is the father of all Atropols.
Oh, cool.
I'll just leave that out there.
So
Atropus is the dead planet. He's an entire planet of dead god.
Dude, can you print that?
No.
Ugh.
Because it would...
Shit.
Bring out the fucking hammer. Print that with a goddamn hammer and fucking wooden
Oh
nails.
god, it would basically be like a Death Star, like the Lego Death Star, like that size. Because that's a
Or
thing.
what's that dead god planet thing from Marvel?
Are you talking about
Dead
Ego?
God?
No, not Ego. The fucking thing that's mined by all the assholes. Shit.
Oh, Nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's a dead celestial head.
So anyway, what are you supposed to see in the module? So chapter 1 has you see Port Nyanzaru. It's a very colorful, very African
Dinosaur
theme.
races.
Yeah,
Dinosaur
it has
races.
dinosaur races.
We won that shit.
Lots of colorful silks and spices, and it's a very exotic kind of location.
You want me to
and
drink, but just to cut you off for 1 second, I really like the setting of ToA. I think that's why it's so high on my ranking of campaigns.
It's so
because
exotic.
It's really
Yeah.
cool.
it's flavorful. It's
Yeah.
not
It has
generic
soul.
medieval city.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
I can't tell if Mike was being racist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh fuck!
That's why I was laughing. Shit.
Not at all what I meant, but yeah, fuck it.
You
There
made
were
the
black
black
people
man
there.
leave, okay?
He said he was going to get a drink.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, chapter 1 is a really flavorful city. It's Port Nyanzaru. And then chapter 2 sees the players looking for the source of the Death Curse, which I think by the time chapter 1 ends, you're supposed to know that it's called the Soulmonger, but not have any clue where it is.
Okay.
Pretty
So-
sure the fucking thing that the Red Wizards, they bitch about, the Soulmonger, so that should be
Oh yeah,
That's-
the Red
that's a-
Wizards were.
that's a common knowledge thing, I think.
You didn't meet the Red Wizards until chapter 3, though.
Yeah, that was way late.
Right, but there was the fucking the Umbral Snare or whatever the fuck. They're just like, hey, fucking problem, Soulmonger, do the thing.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yes, good point. Yes, Zastam, the leader of the Red Wizards of Thay, created the Umbral Snare, which allowed
Surrogates.
which allowed surrogates. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is bullshit.
Wasn't there a red wizard next to one of the merchant princes? The one that was decrepit and falling apart? Or was it just a normal wizard?
don't think that was a red
I
wizard.
don't think any of the merchant princes were afflicted by the death curse.
Someone was afflicted by the death curse.
I think you're
That
thinking
hired
of
us.
Rasnasi.
No, someone in the city that hired us. We had a meeting with someone, and they had the death curse.
Maybe
Yeah,
it
you're
was
right.
A tie-in. Yeah, maybe.
I don't remember who it was though. One of the trade princes?
I thought it was. That's what I was thinking.
What's her name? She's like the main quest giver for ToA. It's gonna kill me if I don't remember her name, so I gotta look it up. Introduction. What in the fuck is her name? Starting the adventure. Sindra Sylvain. She's a retired adventurer and an archmage. She's Tetherian. She has nothing to do with the Red Wizards, though.
Oh, okay.
And she died in the past. What a chump.
She did die in the past. I was an adventurer years ago. I died once and was raised from the dead. I have since closed the door on that stage of my life. Yeah. She's like the main quest giver.
That was a very nice dramatic lady voice.
Thanks. But she does know that it's called the
right
Soulmonger. I don't know why people know that it's called the Soulmonger. Like, if you can do any kind of divination about the source of this death curse,
You gotta know what to call it.
well, why can't you figure out where it is?
Because shut up, no. It's
So by the end of
that's
chapter
not the
1, you
story.
should know that there's a Soulmonger, there's a death curse. The death curse is causing all kinds of fucking problems for people who have ever died. And you need to go fix it, and it's somewhere in Chult. So you get one or more hooks, and then you head off into Jesus. That's terrifying.
Jesus.
holy shit.
You get one or more hooks into the jungles of Chult, and then you head off into chapter 2. And chapter 2 is presented as a hex crawl. They literally give you a map with a hex grid. I want to say a hex is 8 miles, so you can cover 3 a day or something like that.
Those are 8 miles.
Something like
Wasn't
that.
it 1 a day?
It was like difficult to go through if you went at a normal pace, so I think it was 1 a day or something like that. And I think we traveled.
I think it
faster.
was 1 a day unless you're on water, and then it's easier to
Oh
do.
yeah, because we traveled a little bit and then we got on the river and we followed the river down.
Yeah.
Carried that fucking canoe for goddamn
Oh
miles.
my
We're
God,
idiots.
yeah.
You carried a canoe.
We're gonna need it.
So you do a hex crawl, and you essentially bounce from place to place, learning a few things about where the Soulmonger might be. And there's
Oh, and the reason it's a hex crawl is because Chult is uncharted jungle.
yes, it is an
Yeah.
uncharted jungle.
horrible.
It is actively antagonistic towards flying things.
Which is why the module gives you the option of a guide for some of it.
Yeah,
too.
so by the end of chapter 1, you should have hired a guide who helps your survival checks not to get lost in your hex crawl.
We picked.
You picked Azaka, who, spoilers,
Rakshasa, right?
she's a were-tiger.
Ah, okay.
Was that the one that was missing her arm or something?
Nope.
Damn
She had a mask or something that made.
So
We
she wanted to go to
picked her and then
Firefinger.
wanted to pick someone else after.
We wanted to pick a dwarf because he was cool. For
Yeah!
some reason. I forget what he did though.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
so the dwarf lost his arm.
Yeah.
I knew
Ah,
somebody
yeah,
lost their
yeah,
arm.
The
Yeah.
dwarf lost his arm to a red
To a
dragon,
dragon, right? Yeah,
and
yeah.
no
That's a
matter
good reason to lose an arm.
He
no
was
matter
expensive.
no.
No, he was.
Was
he? He was expensive. That's why we didn't go with him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
we're cheap bastards.
No matter
She
where
was
you
free. I
asked
think
him,
that's why we picked her.
no matter where
She was
you
free as
asked
long as we
her-
did the thing she
Yep.
needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wanted to go to Firefinger to retrieve her family's mask.
We were going
That's
there
why we went to
anyway.
Firefinger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the dwarf, no matter where you asked him to go, he would take you to the mine where the dragon is that ripped off his arm.
Someone says.
What a
speed
fucking
run.
asshole.
Great.
ToA speedrun
At what
when?
level?
When does Mike die in this stream?
When does Mike die in this stream?
ToA would be cool to.
ToA would be kind of cool to speedrun. I think it would get a little boring near the end when you get to the Tomb of the Nine Gods. So anyway, chapter
Just
2, you
fucking
do a hex
earthquake it
crawl.
down.
There's, I want to say, 3 to 4 different ways to learn the location of the Soulmonger, and then out of 40 to 50 locations, and so you essentially pick a place, and then you get to that place, and it has hooks to 1 to 3 other places, and you pick one of those places, and you go to that place, and obviously you're going to prioritize based on how close things are, and how much of a continuous loop you can make without backtracking.
Yeah.
And how relevant it seems.
And obviously how relevant it seems. Like, well, I mean, that's only 2 days out of our way, but also it seems completely irrelevant. So fuck that.
What do the ice giants have to do with the soulmonger? Fuck off with those guys.
I think
Did
that's
you
why
guys
we
meet
never
the
went.
frost giants?
There are frost giants in Chult? What? I was
There are
bullshitting.
frost giants.
I think that's why we never went to like find the Aarakocra people, because like we were just like, why the fuck are we gonna go there from Firefinger?
There's a lot of interesting pulls, and it's just like, what the fuck do we want to do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Mom's
we find
dead.
Aarakocra?
Yeah.
We found their
We
base.
found a Aarakocra, like
We never
bound
found a
and
Yeah.
shit.
princess.
Yeah. No,
Nah.
we found the
You
base though.
did not find the princess. She wasn't an Aarakocra princess. She was a human princess of Omu,
Yeah.
being held by the Aarakocra.
Yeah.
But
Remember that at all?
exactly. Her name was Moxana. I remember that. There's an accent on the last E. It's actually the only E. Every other vowel's an A. So yeah, you follow a buttload of hooks through the Hex Crawl, and then eventually you find the location of Omu, which is Chapter 3. And then it gets a little weird. So Chapter 3 is the city of Omu. Chapter 4 is the Fane of the Night Serpent, which is in Omu. And Chapter 5 is the Tomb of the Nine Gods, which is in Omu. So you
Doesn't seem
kind
that weird.
but the weird thing is you kind of bounce back and forth between Chapter 3 and 4 while you're collecting the puzzle cubes, which allow you to enter the Tomb of the Nine Gods.
Okay, yeah, that bit's a little weird. Yeah, the entrance probably should have been in Chapter 3, and then the proper dungeon should have been in its own chapter.
Yeah. So the entrance and the entrance environs of the Tomb of the Nine Gods are in Chapter 5. But like
Yeah,
it's weird. Like you can go Chapter 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3. It's weird. That the chapters
Choose
are
your
broken
adventure.
apart the way they are. But essentially, when you get to Omu, you need to track down 9, let's call them what they are, MacGuffins.
Hey, they're keys.
They're keys. You have to collect the 9 MacGuffins, the puzzle cubes of the 9 gods, so that you can get into the Tomb of the Nine Gods. And the Tomb of the Nine Gods is where the adventure happens. 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 8. Yes, we just jumped to Chapter 8.
Does it even have Chapter 8?
It doesn't. 5 is the last one.
Perfect.
Did we
It's in
ever
Chapter 8.
find Dinosaur Man?
Dinosaur Man.
What dinosaur?
Dinosaur Man.
Dragon
King
Bait.
of Feathers?
You did not.
No,
did
I was
not
like
find
hooked on
Dragon
finding
Bait.
him.
You
That
did
was
not
at the
find
beginning,
Dragon
but we
Bait.
never found him.
Who the fuck is that?
All
I
right,
don't remember this.
so
I
on
was
the
able
topic
to polymorph into a T-Rex because of the King of Feathers, right?
Yeah. on the topic of the Frost Giants and now Dragon Bait, because it's the same topic. There's a whole side quest for those of you who are fans of 3rd edition lore. Actually, I think he existed in 2nd edition. Artus Cimber is in ToA with the Ring of Winter,
And some dagger?
he has a magical dagger called Bookmark. It's literally just a +3 dagger.
That's hilarious.
But he is in Chult. He's looking for Mesirow, and he has the Ring of Winter. And there's Frost Giants looking for the Ring of Winter because they're Frost Giants. They want everything to be winter, so let's get the Ring of Winter so we can make everything winter. So yes,
Mr. Freeze.
No,
yeah,
they're literally the Frost Giants from.
they are
the
literally the Frost Giants from Storm King's Thunder.
No, they're from the MCU because all they want to find is the Casket of Winters.
It's
endless cold.
Well, here's the thing though. In Storm King's Thunder, each of the types of giants are looking for some fucking magical thing so that they can do some magical thing so that they can get to the top of the ordning.
Yeah.
The Frost Giants are looking for the Ring of Winter in Storm King's Thunder.
Is Artus Cimber in Storm King's Thunder?
He isn't. That's literally all it says in Storm King's Thunder. Frost Giants are looking for the Ring of Winter, but they're not going to find it in the course of this adventure.
That's so fucking stupid.
Right?
That's annoying.
Meanwhile, the Fire Giants are looking for pieces of the Vanandad, and you can come across one of them who has found a piece of the Vanandad.
Like, that's kind of fucking hilarious. Like, the Frost Giants are just bumblefucking into utter failure. The Hill Giants are actually succeeding in their plan. Their plan isn't going to work, but they're actually succeeding.
What was their plan?
No, the Fire Giants.
No, the Hill Giants. The Hill Giants' plan was steal food, get fat.
Yep, that was their plan.
That was Grug? Gug? Glug?
Chief Gah.
God.
Yeah.
And Lob, our fucking guide.
Wow.
Love was
More
the
reasons
best.
to hate Storm
Lob
King's
was
Thunder.
awful.
But Storm
Fucking
King's
hated
Thunder is
Lob.
another episode, and we'll get to that later.
Came out before.
I
Yeah,
need to
Storm
drink
King's
for
Thunder
that
was
one.
season 5. ToA season 7.
So anyway, you get to the tomb.
So you get to Oma, you get the cubes, you go into the tomb, and then it's a
Do
huge
shit
dungeon
job of
crawl.
controlling this.
It's about 80. It's an 80 location dungeon crawl, and for anyone,
Wait. Did we just skip like the most important part?
We're just doing an overview
We're
right
doing
now.
an
I'm doing
overview of
it.
what
Oh,
you
okay,
should
okay.
hit, and then we'll get to our bullshit. I already have a question for you, okay?
And then you go into the Tomb of the Nine Gods. It's a huge dungeon crawl. You collect some keys in there so that you could open the final door, and then you fight the Soulmonger and the Atropal. And once you destroy the Soulmonger, Sararak shows up. You fight a Sararak, and then, from what I've read, approximately half of all campaigns end with them destroying the Soulmonger and then dying to a Sararak, which is a type of victory. Because you ended the death curse and then died.
Yeah.
Self-sacrifice
So
for
you
the
can
greater
You can be
good.
revived
Oh,
if
yeah.
they true res you because all they have is your name.
If anyone knows you're
Yeah.
fucking there.
Well, not even sacrifice for the greater good. That is, you cross the finish line and then tripped during your victory lap.
Yeah.
That's the hero thing, though.
A Sararak is kind of sort of supposed to be a victory lap too, because throughout the tomb you're collecting the 9 gods. You allow one of them into your body.
Didn't
Thought I was
Arlen
cool whenever
die?
that shit.
Arlen did die, and then after you destroyed the Soulmonger,
Yeah,
you
power
revivified
kill.
her mid-combat.
Megan was our 4th player, but she joined like halfway through the tomb, so it was a really.
It was weird. It was weird.
Weird.
It also completely ruined your darkness dynamic.
Oh, I'm so mad about that. And then that one time I cast Dragon's Breath and it ruined it, and I was really mad.
Yeah. I stunned you, I think.
Yep, you used your
I cast it on me.
robe
and
of scintillating
Megan.
colors or whatever it's called.
I
Yeah.
was really upset.
Crossed the finish line, had a heart attack, and fell forwards. No, you crossed the finish line and got shot in the face with the starter pistol.
Oh man, I really want to see that happen. Just like open wide.
Yeah.
Why
Anyway.
do you want to see that, you fucking monster?
Jesus. See, that's the overview. What's the next question?
No. Luke wanted to describe how we skipped a huge part of the
Oh,
campaign.
yeah, okay.
So, where were we?
Okay, so you guys at some point decided to go to the ruined city of Mesirow. So the history goes that during the Spell Plague, the city of Mesirow just exploded, and now nothing is left but ruins.
It is a really cool area.
It's a really
actually.
cool area. It's not in the module, but there is an AL-approved module for Mesirow. It was released under the Guild Adepts
I
program.
didn't know that. I thought it was
Called the Ruins of Mesirow or something like that. You can check it out on DM's Guild. And in the middle of the city is a building. This is super spoilers. Please, like...
Just to cut you off again, because I don't want to forget it, wasn't there a giant alligator somewhere in there?
Yes, they're old chums.
Oh.
Old chums.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. I'm thinking, no, there's a...
No.
Old chums is in Avernus, actually. He's in Baldur's Gate.
No.
No, Snapjaw's from Tyranny of Dragons.
Snapjaw's Tyranny of Dragons.
Fuck. All right, never mind.
I don't remember the name.
Snapjaw.
Did not pick up at all.
No.
I don't remember the
My
name of
feet don't line up well.
the alligator in Mesirow, but in the middle of the city is a building called the Hall of Barre. So it has statues of all of the Barre, the immortal paladins of Mesirow.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time you guys had gotten there, you had already learned that Rosnasi, a major NPC in ToA, was at one time a Barra.
Right.
So the first thing Luke does is, when he gets to this hall, is, I wonder where Rosnasi is. And his character disappears. And the reason for that...
No, he just fucking shouted it.
No,
He
no,
didn't
no,
ask
no.
Wait,
no,
really?
Ian's right.
He said, I wonder if Rosnasi's in here.
Disappears.
And he just disappears.
And
And
me
the
and
reason
Seeker
for
were like,
that...
what the fuck?
And the reason for that is that in the Hall of Barre, if you speak the name of any Barre, you're teleported to their statue. If you speak the name of a living Barra, you're teleported somewhere close to them. Turns out Rosnasi is in Omu, the place that they're supposed to spend weeks bumbling through the jungle trying to find, and they just stumble on it.
Did me and Mike just immediately pick up on it and
No.
were like...
No, you were like, where the fuck did he go? And
Yeah,
you
you went and
explored
did a
the
puzzle.
shit. You
Yeah, you did a
explored the
puzzle.
shit out of the Hall of Barre.
Wasn't there like a maze we like shrunk down and
Yeah.
went to in that thing?
I believe so,
Oh
yes.
god, that place was so fucking trippy. It was some weird maze, but we didn't have light or some bullshit.
I don't remember.
Yeah, no, I remember that was really weird.
Mhm.
So it took us a
And
while.
was that? And that wasn't official content. That was fucking
AL.
Guild Adept or whatever.
Yeah, it's Gilded Troll, which is semi-official.
Right, but that wasn't part of the campaign itself proper.
Correct.
Was that put in because Omu was difficult to find, or like why was that
No.
shortcut there?
I don't know why that shortcut was there. I don't know. I don't think it really serves a solid salient
It's just a cool
purpose.
thing.
It's just a cool thing.
Are there any other living Bari?
There.
Whatever.
So spoilers. Spoilers for the campaign we never finished, or the post-campaign
We're
that we
not
never
going
finished.
to. You already said we're not going to.
Mesirow wasn't destroyed. They teleported themselves to a demi-plane and left ruins behind, so people wouldn't think they disappeared. They'd
Oh
think-
yeah, that fucking.
Yeah, we found that out, yeah.
For his wife in the
Yep.
real one or some
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, artist Simber's wife is in the real one.
Oh, that fucking was our December. Christ, I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
You could just put it in Avernus. I got teleported to Avernus.
put Mesirow in
Yeah,
Avernus.
and then we can explore that.
So there are living Barre in Mesirow, but they're
Wait,
on
so
a
if you're
different
in
plane of
Avernus-
existence.
If you're in Avernus while you're in Mesirow and you say Ross Sea, where do you go?
Yes.
Up a demon's
Yes.
butthole. That's where you go.
Straight up
there was
Zariel's
a
ass.
cleric
Oh
in
my
the
God.
cleric party from I don't.
Wait, what?
Spoiler: there was a cleric in the cleric party from Mesirow.
One of the
Uh,
paladins was a cleric?
They're all paladins. They're all
I don't
paladins.
know.
I don't know.
Paladins can be clerics.
I guess.
Was there anything you wish we explored more?
Chapter 2.
The part we
Yep.
skipped.
Yeah, Luke.
No,
No, but how cool was it that we
There
just
was some
fucking
cool stuff.
streamlined?
it was cool as shit that you skipped a major chunk, because if I had to give one major critique to ToA, it would be that Chapter 2 is very difficult to run as DM. It's very difficult to make it interesting because
You're in the jungle.
because travel in 5th edition is not well designed. It is
Yeah.
very, very difficult to challenge your players because while you're traveling, you get one encounter a day and that's it. So
Yeah.
they burn all of their Nova shit. And every player knows this. This is the only encounter we're going to get today. Most likely it's the only encounter we're going to get on this entire travel to the next location, if Order of the Stick is to be believed. So you burn fucking everything. 7th level
does.
slot on a fucking yeah. 7th level slot on a fucking wild animal? Hell yeah.
Just give me some fucking coffee, okay?
Let's just fucking upcast Bigby's hand and start punching it for 8d8.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I found out how many spell slots I had at the end.
How many?
I had 82 first level spell slots, 50 second level,
Mhm.
32 third, 43 fourth, and 5 fifth.
That's a lot of spell slots.
Only because I just unlocked 5th.
Yikes.
Yeah, like the Flaming Fists were in Mesirow doing something, I believe. They had an encampment or something. Mesirow was a city that was underwater, right?
Yeah, the Flaming Fists were in Mesirow.
It was practically a swamp.
Yeah, it was a swamp. Commander Broken Barrel, who was a Goliath, led the Flaming Fist in Mesirow. Fun fact, Liara Portier actually led all of the Flaming Fist in Chold. But you never met her in ToA. You've now met her in Avernus.
Yeah.
What was their goal again in Jolt? They were doing something, I forget.
Stealing treasure. Pretty much it. They're being colonial assholes.
How would you change travel in 5e to improve it?
I'm glad you asked, Andy. So essentially it comes down to one thing. Gritty realism.
Mm.
For travel, while traveling in the wilderness, when you cannot sleep soundly because it's dangerous,
Mhm.
a long rest is 1 week. And a short rest is 8 hours.
How does that make it? It doesn't make it more fun, though.
It does. Because over the course of a week of traveling,
Mm-hmm.
I can give you 3 encounters. And that's it. Just 3. On separate days. But you actually wear down over the course of that week of travel.
But then what if your travel doesn't take a full week?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. How is that better than just putting multiple encounters in one day?
When you reach your destination, you switch back to a long rest being 8 hours because you can set up a camp. You can put up fortifications. You can make a safe place where you can sleep soundly. You get a long rest in a night.
But I'm saying out of character, isn't that just more time crunchy rather than just putting multiple encounters in a single day?
Yeah, it's
putting multiple encounters in a single day is nearly impossible in a travel montage without breaking suspension of disbelief. What the fuck are the odds that we ran into a pack of owlbears and 3 bullets and a pack of fucking pteranodons trying to eat our goddamn brains?
You're in the fucking jungle and they hear noises.
But you fought all... Okay, so... You fought all of those on one day.
Yeah.
And then for the other 5 days, you fought nothing.
Well, everything's scared after the first day.
That stretches disbelief.
I mean, a pack of undead. The group takes a little longer to get to you.
Having several encounters on one day and then nothing on the next several days stretches disbelief. But stretching the encounters across the rest of the days means the resource management is meaningless.
Yeah.
And then having several encounters every day makes every travel take 3 sessions, which is just stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
It's more of a resource management with realistic expectations to the point where you can actually fast forward a little bit better.
Yeah. As
long as your players are capable of that mindset, though.
Yes.
And not all players are. I don't think a lot of players would do well with gritty realism.
So the thing is, it's gritty realism for the sake of... So if you're going through a very, very difficult area... So the other way to do it is to stop suspending disbelief. Treat it like a game while you're traveling.
Yeah.
And say, there are 7 days of travel. 6 of them, on 6 of those days, you encounter a lot of resistance, and every single day drains your resources to the brink, but you never die. And on the 7th day of travel, that's the one we're going to play through.
Yeah.
And this is what resources
I like
completed.
All of these 7 days sucked. We're going to go through one of them to show you what it's like.
Yeah. But I like that. Like, you could be a little more descriptive and, like, you encountered this, you might have got a few scars from that.
But what do you take away?
What do you mean?
That traveling through this area is a harsh environment.
Yeah,
and
the takeaway is that this place sucks. This place is dangerous. No day is safe.
Oh, but they're going into it with full resources. I was misunderstanding.
Yeah. Day one, you describe an entire day of bullshit. Like, this sucks.
Okay.
We fought pteranodons and rhinos and T-Rexes. Day 2, I fought stegosauruses and stinging flies and snapping turtles. And day 3, etc., etc., etc. But you spend a minute on day 1. You spend a minute on day 2. You spend a minute on day 3. So on and so forth. Day 7, or, you could do day 4. Whichever fucking day you feel like actually playing out all of the encounters.
A burn should have been...
That's a good question, Andy. I don't think it takes away any agency from the players. D&D is a collaborative experience. You have to be willing to work with your DM to make a better cohesive story, and for all the people to enjoy it. If the DM isn't enjoying it, and then the players are enjoying it, it's still not fun for everybody. So you have to make sure it's fun for everyone.
I think with the 3 of us too, because we're really experienced in 5e2, we know how to play the game in the way that it's meant to be played, with a DM that we've played with consistently, so we know what we need to do to make it fun.
Honestly, I don't think we play the way the game is supposed to be played because we're so much better, I think, than what the designers expect.
I am the best! That's all I heard.
That actually reminds me of a post that I read literally yesterday called Ivory Tower Game Design, where the writers of 3rd edition and previous editions had an Ivory Tower mindset where if you don't understand what I'm going for, you're not going to get the game. I'm not going to spell it out for you.
Yeah.
But this is how I intend to play. This is how I intend for the game to be played. If you don't get it, fuck you. And then, so you're saying you're better at the game, so you get it. You get how the game is meant to be played. But 5th edition was not designed that way. Nearly as much as 3rd edition. There is still a bit of that in 5th edition, where combat is, by and large, the majority of the game. Not even just by playtime, because combat is slower.
Is 3rd edition not?
3rd edition is 95% combat. 5th edition is probably 60% combat.
4th edition was 100% combat.
4th edition was 117% combat.
Hey man, I yelled at a Sarek that one time.
But yeah, so you guys have a high level of system mastery, which was sort of the point of that post. So you were, in the eyes of 3rd edition, in the eyes of the 3rd edition writers,
Competent.
no, you were allowed to have fun.
You were players.
You were allowed to have more fun than people who don't have that same level of system mastery. But yeah, so I think that it requires... I don't think it takes away player agency at all. I think it would take away player agency if I said, you get this scar, or you lose a finger, or you lose this magic item. It's just like, well, couldn't I have taken steps to prevent losing that thing? It's like, no. That would remove player agency. But
I do feel like it's kind of a cop-out. Like, I understand, like, hostile environment, shit sucks, and, like, all that garbage. But I think ultimately the problem is that random encounters are just crap.
They're crap.
And
so the thing is
like
that...
just describing, like, hey, during your week-long trek, you dealt with a giant pile of bullshit, and then, like, okay, sure. But then, like, to go through a fight for the sake of going through a fight because the dice said, fuck you, fight these cricker panthers.
So that's the other thing with ToA is it literally presents it as random encounters. There is a D100 table per environment. There's D100 for river travel. There's D100 for jungle travel, no undead. There's D100 for jungle travel, moderate undead. D100 jungle, high undead. D100 swamp.
Dear fucking God.
There's a 2-page spread in the back of the book that is nothing but D100 tables per environment.
I feel like the guy who was making that should have gotten like halfway through and said,
bombshell.
Hang on, I feel like this is...
I don't believe you! No, tell me what page it's on, because I know you know what page it's on.
It's in the appendices.
Oh, is it? I really want to see these fucking tables now. I understand you're not supposed to go through a massive fucking jungle of a continent.
Random encounters.
With all of your stuff at all times and things are going to attack you, but random encounters are still bullshit.
These are the random encounter tables from ToA. And...
I'm gonna see.
Okay.
Money, please.
But here's the thing. Any DM who is rolling for random encounters hasn't done the prep they need.
There's so many dinosaurs.
In my opinion. Random encounters shouldn't be random. Random encounters should be foreshadowed or serve the story in one way or another.
Oh, Red Dragon on 38 or 40.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But only when you're in the mountains.
Beach and mountains and...
No, that makes sense, because isn't that where near the where the dragon is?
Yeah, the dragon is in a mountain near a beach.
My camera.
Sorry to disappoint you, Steph.
So the random encounters shouldn't be totally random. If you just fight some random bullshit that has no bearing on the story, that's stupid. But if you fight some random bullshit that has something to do with the story, then it's cool. So if you get a random group of undead that has ghouls and ghasts in it, but they have the blue triangle,
T-Rex and threw up zombies.
I love.
What's a triflower frond?
Triflower frond is a plant creature.
What the fuck is
random encounters should have meaning. So when you skip through a week of random encounters, and you can pick the one day that highlights the things you want to get across to your players.
Yeah.
They tried to justify some of it by making different environments that they would come up in.
No, that's justifiable, but it still doesn't add to the story.
No.
But
So
a lot
still
of those
random encounters.
a lot of those
but
random encounters
seeded
do
random.
tie into.
Artist Simber's on here.
Artist Simber is in there because Artist Simber ties into the campaign. Artist Simber is he's important.
Albino dwarves.
Albino dwarves
Artist
are weird.
Simber's a random encounter. What?
Artist, yeah, you can randomly encounter Artist Simber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the one thing that sucks about the whole random encounter thing is that this is a campaign that you're playing. You're not playing through it like. I don't know if people just play through the same campaign 3 times in a row, but if you should pick encounters that suit the story that you want to tell.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That you think would be fun for the whole group and everything. So if you think them meeting Artist Simber in the middle of the wilderness surrounded by zombies is a good idea, then put Artist Simber in there so you could use the table as a guideline,
Yes.
but going strictly off the table just seems like a bad idea because you're not putting any flavor on or any of your own.
So
It's
the
a
way
for a
that
new DM to...
the way that I used it
I don't know.
was, in the majority of cases, I picked encounters off of the random encounter table. But if the players if the players decided to do some travel that I had not prepared for, I rolled for it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
This seems heinous.
Moss tequila!
No, actually, I lied. That doesn't seem heinous because this is actually good tequila and it's sippable.
Moss tequila.
Changed my mind.
Yeah.
No, this is like good tequila. This isn't like
That-
shit Blanco.
That's the sign of a good alcohol, isn't it? As soon as you taste it, it's like, oh fuck, this was a mistake.
No, honestly, no. Don't forget the simple syrup.
You don't need the simple syrup. This has sugar in it.
Oh, you're putting lemonade in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Duh.
I use the lime juice.
Nah.
She's making like bullshit margaritas.
Bullshit margaritas.
It's lemonade with tequila and triple sec.
Bullshit.
So it's got bullshit in it.
It tastes like lemonade. All right, cool. Welcome to Last Call at the Gilded Troll, where we get drunk.
No, let's call the Gilded
I'm so
Troll
drunk.
is Denton, Zogrim, Roland, and Girder drinking the last supplies of fucking everything at the end of every
So
night.
how does the Tomb of Annihilation stack up against Undermountain?
Jesus. Okay, so
Oh, that's a good
that's a
question.
retarded.
Why
way
does
to
no one
put it.
help me with
The
questions?
size.
Okay, so number 1, it is about a probably a 6th, 7th, or an 8th the size of Undermountain.
Damn, I said fifth.
Understandable.
So Tomb of the Nine Gods is
It's like 4 levels, right?
6 levels, I think. It's 5 or 6 levels. I think it's.
In terms of interest for you and how you could display it to the characters and how you think it would be. How is it? Would you say it would be more flavorful and you can explore it in different ways? And
The Tomb
with
of the
the
Nine
characters.
Gods, for me as a DM, is 2 to 3 times as interesting as any one level of Undermountain.
Damn.
But Tomb of the Nine Gods goes on for 2 to 3 times as long as any level of Undermountain.
okay.
The first level of Undermountain is about 40 areas. Tomb of the Nine Gods is 80.
Shit.
Also, on any given level of TO or the Tomb of the Nine Gods, finding the god's object and experiencing that was really neat. Like it's almost like there was an objective with every level.
Yeah.
Dungeon of the Madman should not have that.
So there technically is an objective on every level of Tomb of the Nine Gods, and the objective is to find the skeleton key.
Yeah.
But that's
Oh,
not
yeah,
made
yeah.
clear to you until you get to the 6th level. And then you have to backtrack to find all the skeleton keys you missed.
Mm,
Didn't we find all those keys? Oh no, never mind.
no.
We went back to get the keys, came down to open them, and that's when the witches attacked us.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Okay.
hags.
I thought for a second maybe that's where we got the keys from, but nah, that's
Yeah, so there's 5 keys. one for each of the first 5 levels, and you get down to level 6, and there's just a door with 5 skeleton keyholes, and you're like, oh, I have this one. Shit.
Did we go through all of ToA without fighting a dragon?
You did.
We did.
If I recall correctly, there are 2 dragons in ToA.
There's a red dragon on the random encounters.
Yeah, it's probably Tinder.
Mm.
By the way, the dragon's name is Tinder. Its name is actually Cindelor. She goes by Tinder.
Why not Cinder?
It's TZ.
She goes to Artist
Cindelor.
Cinder. Okay.
That would still be way better though.
If you're so at the shop, the players actually went to that mountain and fought that dragon. They started calling her Grinder.
Because it's the job of a party to just rename shit the stupidest thing
Well,
ever.
Tinder is a
Vroom,
dating
vroom.
app for straight
Vroom.
people. Grinder is a dating app for gay people.
Isn't it just gay dudes?
Yes,
Yeah, Grinder's gay.
Grinders for gay dudes. There were a lot of jokes about one specific player being gay because his character was effeminate.
Oh, dude, that's mean.
It was kind of mean, but it was also in good fun because we're all like 30-year-olds.
You're gonna have to tell me who the fuck that is later.
I don't think you ever met him.
Alright, fuck
His name was Mike.
Hey man, why you gotta call me out like
Fucking
that?
Mike! Get off a Grinder, bro.
I can't remember his
Don't
last
kink shame
name.
me.
Wait, hold up. Okay, I remember his name. I'm not gonna say it.
Luna Raya asked, how did we survive a Sararak?
He also suggests that a Sarac was like CR45. A Sarac, I want to say, is
Sarak's a
CR23.
bitch.
Yeah.
He
He's
was
not a
something
bitch,
like he
but-
was something like
Bitch. I'm gonna look him
CR23.
up.
But the
Hold
thing is, at the end of the module, when a Sarac shows up, if the players have any of the 9 gods spirits within them, which by the end of the dungeon they should.
We got all 9, didn't we?
I think you
At-
collected
at
all
certain
9
points.
of them, but you can only have one of them
Right. Yeah.
in your body at a time.
3.
Hey, it's 23, exactly what I said. At the start of each of your turns, you get 50 temp HP, and all of your attacks do an additional 2d6 psychic damage against a
I don't have
Sarac.
the temp HP. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's this huge power boost that you get from the 9 gods just being super angry at a Sarac. So that's what makes him beatable. And
Which
then
we didn't do.
you beat him.
I thought he ran.
Well, yeah, that is beating him.
You did.
That counts as a victory.
He's written to teleport away once he hits 100 hit points.
We had him.
Um,
He killed Arlen, but we
Well,
had him.
it's really funny because
She got better.
I
She's
distinctly
just a
remember
clone.
he had already used his reaction, probably for counterspell, and then someone cast magic missile at him, so he couldn't shield.
Did we have a wand of magic missiles?
Probably.
We always do.
And then you rolled like 2 higher than what you needed to get him to exactly 100 hit points. So if you had rolled 2 lower, he'd be at 101, and he'd take his turn normally without teleporting away. And then in that next round, you probably
You'd
could have
kill him.
done the other 100 damage.
Yeah.
He had 298 total.
298 total. Okay.
Yeah, but you probably cheated.
I probably
He always
cheated.
does.
Well,
You
so,
always add
well, so
HP.
here's the thing. A Sarac's spell selection in his stat block is super fucky.
I have the power of God
Like-
and anime on my side.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like his spell selection is super fucky. So Sly Flourish, one of the best D&D related blogs. They have been ever since 4th edition. They might have been since I don't know how long they've been doing it, but Sly Flourish is a fantastic D&D blog. They had a whole 3-part series on how to run a Sararak. And one of the parts was, let's fix his spell list.
I was looking at his spell list. It's garbage.
It's garbage. He doesn't even have
Is it just
Fireball.
Archmage?
It's not. It's
No.
not just Archmage, but it's
Hang
retarded.
I'm gonna find it again. Hold on. I'm just gonna
Um,
read them all out too. Hold on.
You want to
That's alright.
okay.
Sorry. I'm not gonna read all of them. I'm gonna read out the stupid ones so you can see how fucking stupid it is.
Well, he's technically a wizard, right? So
he is a wizard. I think he has
to prepare
28 in.
spells. So he just needs to. He just picked some shitty spells today because
Ray of
he
Sickness,
doesn't know
Shield,
stuff.
Arcane Lock, Knock, Animate Dead, Counterspell, Blight, Ice Storm, Phantasmal Killer, Cloud Kill, Hold Monster, Wall of Force, Chain Lightning, Circle of Death, Disintegrate, Finger of Death, Plane Shift, Teleport, Maze, Mind Blank, Power Word Kill, Time Stop.
Okay, so I have a really interesting thing to say about Mind Blank. So Mind Blank makes you immune to any kind of mind reading magic, and it also makes you immune to psychic damage.
Psychic damage.
The
Extra
9
damage is
gods,
psychic
spirits, give you extra psychic damage. So it'd be super fucking stupid if he cast Mind Blank every day.
Yeah.
Because it's a 24-hour buff. So if he has it prepped, presumably he casts it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he's just immune to the extra damage that the 9 gods give you. Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the trickster gods. That's what they're called.
I think
the
that's
trickster
if
gods.
the DM wants to be a fucking prick.
I didn't want to be a prick. So Sly Flourish's whole
this
blog post,
Not this time.
Sly Flourish's whole blog post was Acererak spends his days flitting around the plains, exploring dungeons, killing people, and stealing fucking hidden treasures and shit. What would his spell list look like with
Given
that in
motive.
mind? So
Yeah.
he's got telekinesis, he's got disintegrate to remove obstacles that he can't lift,
Right.
he's got counterspell in case he runs into an enemy wizard, because he's going to.
Yeah.
He's got fireball to destroy swarms of insignificant
oh my God,
things.
Fireball wasn't on that list.
Yeah, he doesn't have fireball on his list. So Sly Flourish did a whole write-up on a better spell list, and that's the spell list I used. And it
What
included Power Word Kill, which was the reason Arlen was able to die despite the extra temps. It's like, I don't give a fuck if you have 50 temps. You only have 80 hit points.
Yeah.
You're dead.
To the players, did you like the god powers or no?
I did know he's a tiefling. Thanks, Sean.
To Luke and Mike, did you like the concept of have a god inside you and you get some benefit?
That was cool as shit. I forget what my power was, but that was fucking awesome.
There were a bunch of different ones. I remember one was like
There were a bunch of
invisibility. Some
One
were
was cast
some
invisibility
modifiers.
at will, one of them was 26 strength, one of them was 26 con, one of them was 26 dex.
There were some of them. I don't think we got all of them.
Give me the book. Give me the book.
Didn't we?
Because-
Pretty sure we did. But
I didn't
Oh
like...
wait, yeah, I think we did.
I like
I
the
think you did.
concept. I didn't like how we
Oh, sorry, it's not
decided,
26,
okay,
it's
this
23.
Is shit, let me swap it with the next thing we see.
So,
they can't all be winners.
No, but that felt really crunchy. It's like if you make a decision to take one, you should... I don't know. You should kind of be stuck with it.
23 dex, 23 strength, turn invisible as an action, no concentration, but it ends if you attack or cast a spell. Spider climb permanently, a 4th attunement slot, can't be surprised, advantage on wisdom checks, and never take damage from falling. That's all one. You can make one extra attack when taking the attack action on your turn. Wow.
Fuck!
23
good.
Constitution, and then as an action, unleash a psionic assault on a creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The must succeed on a DC 16 Wiz save or be stunned for a turn.
That's pretty good. No recharge. Just you can do it.
Any fucking time you want.
pretty good.
That's pretty shitty because stun myself to stun you.
I mean, if that
Wait,
one
you
thing...
are stunned?
No,
No,
you
you
use your
use your
action
action.
to do it.
Oh.
Stun
Okay,
gives you
stun.
advantage on attack rolls, though, too.
Yeah, okay.
Right, you're in a group of people,
Yeah.
so...
Sure.
Like on a one-on-one, that's worthless because
Right.
you use your action to maybe ruin their action. But in a group
Right, but
situation,
it's
you pick
a
the
take-
big guy, you pick the big dumb guy,
Yeah.
and you make him stop attacking people.
Right, it's a take me out of commission to take you out of commission as well.
Yeah.
But they
Unless
are
you're a
much more
fighter and
defeated.
can action surge.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but they're bullshit,
Yeah.
Luke.
But yeah, so those are the nine. I think the extra attack was kind of the best. That's
pretty
kinda-
fucking great.
that's pretty
Jesus.
great.
Here, have fucking 5 levels in fighter. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it stacks with extra attack. That's the cool thing.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh.
oh fuck, you have 4? Nah, you have 5. Enjoy.
You-
Be level 26th fighter.
you described the death curse.
I
How-
mentioned the death curse.
Huh?
I mentioned the death
You
curse.
mentioned the death curse. How did you feel about it as adding consequences, or didn't it do enough? And then once Ian answers, the players will answer.
So there's two parts of the death curse. Number one is that when you die, you can't be resurrected. And then number two is that if you have ever died and been resurrected prior to the death curse, at the beginning of every day, your maximum hit points is reduced by 1. If your maximum hit points hit 0, you die again, and then because of the first effect, you can't be resurrected. The first part of the death curse, I don't think was hugely relevant, mainly because in 5th edition, we had a problem with yo-yoing. where if a player goes down, someone casts Healing Word, they get 3 hit points. They can take an entire 50 hit point attack and still not die as long as it doesn't cause death by massive damage. And then you just keep healing wording, or if you're a grave cleric, you bonus action spare the dying at the very least to keep them from failing death saves. You just go down, get up, go down, get up, go down, get up, go down, get up. So that's a problem in 5th edition. I've actually found a homebrew solution to that. Yo-yoing. Found a homebrew solution to that. I haven't implemented it in any campaigns, but I've considered it. Because of yo-yoing, I don't think the first half of the Death Curse is really meaningful. And the second half of the Death Curse, unless you're a total fucking asshole of a DM and you allow a player to put into their backstory that they died and were resurrected, it's not going to matter to the PCs outside of being a story motivation. Which
I
is
feel like
fine.
that's more just like fuck you for being an AL character.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. It's like, oh, you're an AL character and you got a free raised dead at some point.
Sucks.
AL's garbage.
Suck a dick, bitch.
Sorry to everyone who goes to game shops and plays AL, but AL blows, especially now.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, I have actually read stories of people of DMs who were like, hey, so we're running ToA, and I haven't told my players like anything about the Death Curse, and one of my players was like, yeah, so like I died and then came back to life, and like that's why I'm a warlock now, because I sold my soul so I don't die anymore. And it's like, okay, so in a week you're dead because your max HP is 8.
Yeah.
So you literally, like, the ToA is supposed to take place over the course of about 60 days. So unless they have +4 con and they're leveling up every 6 days, they're gonna die again.
How many random encounters are you throwing at me, bro?
It doesn't even matter the random encounters, it's the travel time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would the Death Curse work with Reincarnate? You cannot be reincarnated during the Death Curse.
No.
You're dead, you can't
Death
undead.
Curse says fuck you to any sort of...
You can't undie.
Yeah. I really like the Death Curse.
I thought that it was very interesting in terms of story.
Yeah.
Mechanically, I don't think it mattered much.
No.
Yeah.
No. Really cool concept, but like...
Like, until you're level 9, raising a party member from the dead isn't something that happens frequently.
How many times did all characters combined die in Dungeon of the Mad Mage?
Combined, it was about 12.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage!
That also went to level 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, Denton was designed to die and didn't.
Didn't die.
Yeah, Jesus fuck, you're doing a shit job.
To be fair, once he hit level 14, it was basically impossible for him to die.
Fucking, what type of barbarian were you?
Zealot.
Zealot barbarians.
Fights at it, fight rage more often.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is burn the rages. Once they're out of rages, it's just a normal barbarian.
I just want to be mad for the rest of my life.
Or just take the god that stuns them, or whatever.
Yeah, just stun him. Just keep stunning you until you fucking die.
Wait, what barbarian was
bullshit chinchilla?
Ancestral.
Oh yeah.
So this is something Ian wanted to touch on. Us three played through the campaign in its entirety.
Yep.
There was the introduction of a new player very near the end who wasn't tied in 100%, not appropriately, but not very well.
There was no. So the tie-in was essentially, we're all in this tomb and we're all trying to destroy the Soulmonger.
Yeah.
Let's go. In terms of personality and character interaction, there was no tie-in.
How does that affect your ability to DM?
How does it affect my ability to DM? It really doesn't. So...
Okay, next question.
No, so the really interesting thing, and I think this is sort of a tangential way to get to something that's very interesting, is that regardless of how well tied together the party is, I can still DM plenty. I can throw a hook at you, I can throw a hook at you, I can throw a hook at you, and
That's
I
what
can
makes
throw
you
a hook
good.
at you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I can throw some Dendar hooks at Mike. I can throw some Layla hooks at Arlen. I can throw some Alyssa hooks at Ander. I throw hooks all over the fucking place, and you all move forward.
Yeah.
The question is, when I throw
Alyssa was her mom.
Alyssa was your mom.
Wife.
Layla was Arlen's mom.
Yeah.
When I throw a Dendar hook at Mike, are you going to grab it? Yes.
Or,
the answer is
or
yes.
when I grab it, is she going to hold my hand and follow me while I go follow it?
Right. That's the only thing.
So mad that didn't go off. So
Yeah.
mad.
I mean,
Hey man, I was going to explode Dendar from the inside. That was going to be cool.
As far as like the campaign going forward, I feel like it wouldn't really affect anything. But when it comes to like the table presence, it's like noticeable. And there's not much you could have done in any other way. It's just the way we started was we set out to, this is the group, and like we weren't even like we weren't expecting to add people, so we made it in such a close knit and way. And the problem with that is that there's no real room to.
There's no way to introduce a new character unless that new character was literally Alyssa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why AL, like, there's everything is self-encapsulated, everything, like, you can drop in, drop out, blah, blah, blah. But with a campaign, if you're not a part of that session 0 or introduced shortly thereafter...
Which is why, and ToA is actually the reason that I have a rule that we do not introduce new players during the course of a campaign.
Yeah.
We can introduce new characters. It's tough. So,
Mike did that in our homebrew. He played an NPC that you created.
We introduced a new player, but he was already a character that had existed. But
which is the thing.
So let's say that in Avernus, Nixie is disintegrated. Yeah. Let's just say that Nixie gets disintegrated, and you have no way to bring her back. Let's say you have no way to bring her back because you need true res to undo a disintegrate.
Right.
That sounds like a deal with the devil if I've ever heard one.
Presumably, I wouldn't say, Steph, you're not allowed to play with us anymore. So, generally what we would do is we would have you roll a new character and we'd find a way to introduce you.
Right.
With the assumption that that's not going to significantly impact the table dynamic because you're still Steph. Even if you're not Nixie, you're still Steph.
Right.
Nixie has parts of your personality. So whatever new character you roll will have other parts of your personality.
Mm-hmm. I don't really roleplay Nixie. I should get better at that.
I feel like you roleplayed Nixie really well when you were roleplaying Noxie.
Yeah. Quarantine goal, get better at roleplaying.
You've only been playing D&D for 10 years, so I mean...
No, because Nixie is just an asshole, and now I consider myself an asshole, so
Noxie.
it's like... I played this character as I don't have to try, which is not how you should play a character.
But, like, I'm not going to exclude a player because their character died, but I also don't want to introduce new characters for fear of the table dynamic changing.
Right. Right. Arlen didn't affect the way the game was played, but it was weird from a character.
No, she did.
Oh yeah,
it changed the whole darkness thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the whole issue with.
But out of character, it's like, oh, the DM wants to introduce a new player. It's like, okay, we have to make this work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could remember about how many sessions she was in. Because it was so at the tail end of things.
Yeah, I'd say it had to be like around 30% maybe.
R.I.P. Rip Noxie. I kind of wish I still had 2 heads in Avernus. That would be really cool.
I haven't been watching Avernus. What?
So there's this thing called Icker, which is the
Demon
blood
ichor.
of demon ichor. So it's like the gooey blood of demons, and if you drink it, it gives you like some weird benefit or disadvantage, and if you put it in one of your fucking war machine vehicle things, it's like a nitro boost.
It's a nitro boost.
Why would you even consider drinking it?
Okay, so here's the no. So the way Demon Ichor works is if you touch it, there's a con save versus one of these mutations.
Mm-hmm.
If you drink it, you don't get a con save. It just happens, and they're just dumb, and they drank it.
Because we're chaotic players.
No, we copied our friends, the Red Caps.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
So
excuse me. The number one, they're madcaps, and number two, they dunked their hats in it.
So Folg ended up with tentacle arms, which give him fucking reach.
Which Bayless is working on the art for.
So it's like,
Sounds
why
awesome.
wouldn't you keep that, right?
I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going.
Exactly. I even told Bayless, I don't know what kind of tentacles they are. I don't know if they're octopus tentacles or hentai tentacles or what. Feel free to get crazy with it.
But so he has tentacles, but he still has fingers.
Yeah.
So it's like, are those fingers human fingers, or are they like
Halfling.
10 more tentacles?
Halfling.
Oh, that's like some fucking Powerpuff Girls, how do their hands work shit.
So
Oh,
the way I described it to Bayless is he has a tentacle arm with a tentacle palm with 5 tentacle fingers.
What the fuck is a tentacle palm?
It's just a ball of tentacle with 5 tentacles coming out of it.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Luke's character had bat wings, so he doesn't have to use the Azamor bullshit of flying.
Yeah.
He has.
I had my legs switched with my
His
arms.
arms switched with his legs. His entire
can
body
fly, so who
became
cares?
brittle as fuck. So he had paper skin and glass bones,
Yeah.
vulnerability to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing.
Mhm.
And then
He
his
has side
eyes
eyes.
popped out of his head on stalks.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I had 2 heads, which gave me advantage on.
On saves against charm, frighten, and stun.
Which, why aren't there more benefits or, like, some disadvantages? I don't know.
What's the advantage on perception checks?
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had.
Or can't be surprised or something like that.
And then
Yeah.
some of the Ichor benefits are, like, completely, like, just flavor. It's like, I have purple skin and black eyes.
Oh, and one of your legs grew like 6 inches longer, so you lost 10 feet.
But
move
I'm an
speed.
artificer, so I should make a stilt that I can use immediately.
No, fucking peg leg.
No!
All right, back to ToA.
That's it.
Let me see if I had any other questions.
We're dating the shit out of this stream by saying, like, talking about, like, what's going on in our
to the
brains.
players, is there anything you didn't like, or are there any, like, super memorable moments that you can recall? Go.
Anything.
Super memorable, unfun moments.
Well, no. What
Good
were-
or bad?
Yeah, good or
Okay.
bad. Rosna C is like one of the few things I remember. Like,
You mean
going to
Luke
that temple,
yelling
it's like,
Rosna
where the fuck
C.
did he go? Dad?
Yeah.
Dad?
What's funny is that kept fucking happening. Like, and every time it was like, oh shit, where'd Andrew go? Send a message. Oh, that didn't work. Send a sending. Okay, he went somewhere. Fucking figure out how to do
And
it.
then it was a running joke. Anytime we entered a new place, we just said Rosna C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the Talos thing that Luke had in Dragon of Ice Fire Peak. Just say one thing over and over again. Maybe it'll do something.
Maybe it'll become funny.
Oh my god.
It did become funny until it became
Our
old.
viewers quote that repeatedly. It's funny as shit.
Our viewers still quote that.
Yeah. We need to make a Talos t-shirt.
Favorite or least favorite Trapped in the Tomb? That's a good question after.
Ooh.
But what was your favorite or least favorite part of the campaign in total?
I don't fucking remember. It was so goddamn long ago. I'm terrible at remembering shit.
I liked finding out that the guide was a were-tiger.
Really?
For some reason, I remember that.
I thought that was like super underwhelming.
Yeah, I didn't think that was super significant. I mean, it was cool, but I didn't think it was super significant.
I don't even remember it.
I liked the intro city. Like, there was a lot of interesting things that went on there. One of the cool encounters. I think we were just
the dinosaur race was really neat.
yeah.
And the pit of throwing people in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Pit of throwing people in?
You
There was a
threw
pit
people...
behind the pyramid.
Oh,
like the
yeah,
old city or whatever.
Yeah,
The trash heap.
Mhm.
Yeah, the trash heap.
And they committed crimes or something. It's like, here, do this thing or be trampled to death or some bullshit. Yeah. I remember that.
I have to find the
Oh
name
yeah,
of that
the
place.
city was really cool. I do remember that. Most of that was AI
Executioner's Run.
Most of that was AL modules.
Yeah, a vast majority of the city was AL modules because the city is sort of
They were
described,
cool.
but it's not fleshed
Oh,
out.
this tastes weird. Why does this taste weird?
Another cool moment was I forget what city we were in, and we felt relatively safe, and then we got like I think we were helping Artist Simber trying to figure out some kind of puzzle around a city. We were like trying to touch different things, and you had to light up a whole bunch of. It was like a
You were in
light
Mesirow then.
puzzle. Yeah, I think it was a light puzzle because we had to turn on different runes and get them all on at the same time to make the real Mesirow show up or something.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of dinosaurs like crashed through a wall, and then we had to fight a whole bunch of dinosaurs. I think.
Yep. It was a bunch of Triceratops zombies, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Isn't
remember
that when we did the first double polymorph?
I believe it was, yes. The first
Fucking sick.
instance of twinned polymorph.
Sorcerer's great for twin polymorph.
Steph, show them
Oh
Cosmo
yeah,
and Wanda.
yeah. Get out Cosmo and Wanda. I remember the
Yeah, pull out
obelisk
the pink
really
T-Rex
well.
that is very much not pink.
All right, Ian's colorblind, and the brown looks pink, so he calls
it
them
does.
Cosmo and Wanda.
No, so here's
really
the thing
doesn't.
about my colorblindness. I became
Look at those eyes.
colorblind
Look at him.
during puberty.
Shit.
I feel like it has.
Focus, you fuckhead.
I have a feeling it's a degenerative problem called
You
cone
should probably get
dystrophy.
diagnosed,
It doesn't.
It's not gonna do anything.
It's not
for
gonna
him.
do anything for me.
but you would at least know
I don't
rather than
care
just
enough.
conjecturing. You
And
kind
So
of care
here's the
because you always
thing.
bitch about
No,
it.
because here's what's important. I know what colors are because I've seen them. I saw them for 12 to 14 years of my life or something.
They're so cute.
So when I see something that is like gray brownish, my eyes say, oh, or my brain says, oh, that's just what the eyes keep telling me pink looks like. So it's pink.
Luke's face.
It ain't pink, it's shit brown.
So it looks pink to me.
That ain't Wanda.
What'd you say, Steph?
That's like
your,
fucking,
your face. You were so amused. I don't even know what you were looking at. You could have been looking at something totally unrelated.
Z posted Ian screaming Talos,
Oh my
and
god! Stop posting that clip. So Luke liked the Tricer. Wait, who said that one?
I said dinosaur
I said-
rate.
You said dinosaur races. Luke said the Triceratops.
Yeah.
Busting through the fucking walls.
I thought the obelisk was really cool. I do remember the obelisk.
You remember the obelisk?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
What
the
about
obelisk
it?
that we didn't activate?
Did I do another module that had that in it?
What obelisk?
Which obelisk?
Are you talking about the puzzle obelisk where you had the?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was one of the modules. That was
Oh,
0705.
fuck. All right, never mind.
That was DDA or
That
yeah
wasn't-
DDAL
okay.
0705.
Okay, that wasn't in our. Okay.
That's not the obsidian obelisk that Lunaraya was asking about.
Okay.
That's a different obelisk.
Never mind.
So, what was the best, favorite or least favorite trap in the tomb? My favorite trap, because I'm an asshole, is the room that fills with wine that explicitly says,
Ah, yeah, I remember
no,
that.
water breathing doesn't work.
I remember that.
My least
There are a
favorite...
lot of cool traps in ToA.
There were a lot of really
There-
cool traps.
yeah.
My
Didn't
least
we
favorite
trigger
trap...
that trap after the fact? Like, we got
Yeah.
the thing,
We
and then we
did.
removed
We
the
did.
light or some
Yep.
shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fucking morons.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I had marvelous pigments that entire campaign.
you
Yeah.
did.
Ah!
Also, Dungrung Lung was cool as hell.
Dungrung Lung was really cool.
Yeah.
You guys did Dungrung Lung 1,000,000% nowhere near what the module expected.
Oh wait, no, it was perfect though.
It was
All right,
fantastic.
describe it.
I don't remember.
Fuck.
We made, like, a fake god or some shit?
You made a
Yeah.
fake... No, you were
We
supposed...
exposed
No,
him.
you were supposed to make a fake god. You were supposed to make a fake... what's the grung trickster god? You were supposed to
Frog
make
Hime?
a fake Nang Nang.
Nang Nang.
But instead you made a fake Yuan Ti,
Yeah.
which told the rest of the grung that...
Regicide!
Yeah,
Yes, I
You
remember.
made the
Yeah.
grung. You made the rest of the grung commit
Oh
regicide,
my god.
and then you were like,
It's brilliant.
"I guess I'll leave you guys to this power vacuum." And they're like, "Yes, please leave."
Oh my god. No, that's a highlight. That's a highlight
Yeah.
for me. That was awesome.
My least favorite trap in the tomb is a two-way tie between the mirror tomb, which has the potential to absolutely derail a campaign. Instead of derailing a party, it'll derail
Is
your
that the one with the
entire...
eyes?
No, so there's this like loop where you walk up, and the whole time you're walking around the loop, gravity is towards the floor, and then when you get back to the bottom, you are in a mirror reflection of the tomb. And For those of you who
Castlevania.
are software developers, this mirror tomb was a Cerex dev instance. It was a total copy of the tomb
I'll be here.
that reset itself every morning.
Oh, fuck.
And the players could spend literally weeks exploring this mirror tomb, making zero progress.
Lots of debug comments, though, right?
No debug. Actually, believe it or not, there was a little bit of debug. So two-way tie between that one and then there was another trap where it's literally just like, oh yeah, when you get near the center of this this hallway, a fan turns on and it pulls people towards it, but it doesn't pull them very hard.
Didn't you make that magnetic?
I don't think No, there's a different trap that's magnetic. I actually like that one. No, it's just like a fan that pulls people, and if you touch the fan, it slices you to shit and you just die. But the fan is made of adamantine, so you can't break it, and its mechanism is made of adamantine, so you can't break it.
Didn't we break that?
We broke like 20 different things.
I remember breaking a fan, or stopping a fan or something.
You stopped it by drawing a ridiculous number of chains. So I was just like, you didn't break anything except the motor, which isn't made of adamantine, I guess. I don't know.
My favorite was the room that was like 16 traps in one, and the main thing was that it just constantly rotated.
Oh god.
Oh my god, that trap.
Oh yeah.
And I just cast fly. I'm like, okay, I beat
hovered
it.
in the middle of the room.
And then the flame jet started. It's like, oh, whoops. It's fucking bullshit. It was
there was something weird in there. Was it like a dead body or like a boot or something like that we found in there? It was just sitting in one of the spinning things. Like one of the rooms is spinned to.
I don't remember anything past that fucked us up.
The room he's referring to is Area 38, for anyone following along at home.
I have something important to say.
Okay, Mike.
Fuck Wadumu.
Oh, Wadumu was the worst!
Wadumu, who would be blue?
Oh,
Yes!
Fuck Wadumu!
You remember!
No motivation, betrayal whatsoever.
Wadumu is an NPC that only appears in DDAL 07-04 and DDAL 07-05. And he is a total dickwad.
He betrayed us.
No, he's super cool. He's like friendly and like, here, I'll help you out. And then complete heel turn at the very fucking end for no reason whatsoever.
As soon as we got to Dungrunglong, he
wanted to be blue,
No.
man.
No, it was in the Fane of...
Yeah, the Night Serpent? Or was it
No, it wasn't the Fane of the Night Serpent, because that was Ross Nassif's Fane. It was a different Fane.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, baby.
It was under the obelisk that Steph said she really liked.
I don't remember half of it. I remember the other half being cool.
Oh, yeah. Because I remember, was there a spear we fought under there or something like that?
He did do a patches. He totally did a patches. Yeah. Oh my, I hate patches.
From Dark Souls.
From Dark Souls, yeah.
Okay. Patches is a dick.
He's a dick.
There was that other trap too, not the mirror trap you're talking about, I'm talking about the other mirror trap, where we touched it and you get sucked into it and then we blew it up.
The mirror of life stealing.
Out.
Yeah, you broke it so everything popped out and it's just like, oh fuck, big fight, tiny hallway.
That was ToA?
That was ToA.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. That was awesome. We fucking like kept throwing shit in or people in or something to get stuff to come out.
Yeah, it was like one person touched it and someone else got shot.
And then someone decided, nah, fucking smash. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, puppy.
So I'm out of questions, and I have been for a while.
Oh,
so for the next 5 minutes, we're gonna bullshit about something and say in Twitch which campaign you want us to do next. We have Tyranny of Dragons we can go over.
Yeah.
We have Dungeon of the Mad Mage, Dragon Heist.
Poll.
If you really want to watch us talk about Storm King's Thunder, we absolutely will.
I'm gonna make a straw poll.
Okay, you're gonna make a poll.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a straw poll.
About straw poll still a thing?
Yeah.
So we got.
Put New Zealand up there. Maybe they want to hear about some of
if you want to hear about
content.
Dragons.
I don't even remember New Zealand, dude.
You were in like 2 sessions.
No, he was in
fucking, I'm thinking of
the... Dragons, New Zealand, Storm King's
You're thinking Infernal War Machines or whatever?
No, the fucking...
Tyranny of Dragons when we expanded it?
You say Dragon Heist and
Yeah,
the Mad Mage?
yeah.
Storm King Thunder.
Wait, should we do those
Tyranny of
separately?
Dragons.
Waterdeep Dragon
What the fuck is
Heist.
behind here?
That's
Curse of Strahd.
That's Curse of Strahd. So
If you want to talk, yeah.
should we do Dragon Heist and Dungeons and Mad Mage separately?
Yes.
Okay.
I had very different feelings about both campaigns. I don't know about.
Yes.
Okay, Mike, did you?
So Tyranny of Dragons, News Aurelian, Storm King's Thunder, Dragon Heist, Dungeons and Mad Mage, Curse of Strahd. Those are our options?
Yeah.
Alright. Create.
I like Dragon Heist way better than I liked Dungeons of the Mad Mage.
That's because of the type of player you are. They explore different aspects of, like, in lower levels you can explore a lot more of.
I like low level play.
Yeah, because it's way more
Grounded.
characters. Yeah, it's way more grounded, way more personality, way more like
It's
hijinks.
It's way more
rather than battle.
interactive without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote.
You would.
I did.
Wait, can I vote?
You can.
I want to vote.
Why did you vote for Storm King's Thunder?
Because I want to talk about how bad it is.
Oh no, people are gonna fucking hate us.
I'm also voting for Storm King's Thunder.
All right, let's do it.
what the fuck? Why are
Wait,
you
can I vote for? Oh no, I can only vote for one.
You can only vote for one.
Oh.
I didn't enable multi-vote.
Ah, fuck that. I want to vote for Dragon Heist.
Yeah, please vote no straw poll. The winner of this poll will actually be the topic of our next last call. And also, if you have any more questions related to ToA, please ask them now. Now is the time to do that.
If you're watching this on YouTube, just put them in the comments below. Ian and I both actively look at the videos we post on YouTube, so if you have comments, we will answer them.
That's true.
Who reads YouTube comments? Sheesh.
We get
We
so
do because
few.
we don't get garbage for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah. The type of people that watch full on like 4-hour sessions aren't complete assholes.
That shit killed Total Biscuit.
Oh really?
Literally
well, I
killed
mean, he's
him.
actually
He's dead
No, that was a
Yeah.
pancreatic cancer that killed him.
No, YouTube comments actually gave him cancer.
Don't say that.
Is the
Honestly, it kind of did. They stressed him to all fuck, which
Stress
just ruined his...
doesn't cause pancreatic cancer. Fuck off.
Stress does cause cancer.
is the poll under last call suggestions? Because I don't see anything in that channel.
What? No, I posted it on Twitch.
I see
I put it in
Storm
Twitch
King's
chat.
Thunder and Curse
I'll-
of Strahd
I will put
tied.
it. Hold up, I will put it in the last call suggestions.
Fucking smart.
Ian, what was your favorite monster encounter while people are voting?
What was my favorite monster encounter in ToA? That's gotta be King of Feathers.
Really?
I liked the fight.
Alright, I put it in last call suggestions. You liked the fight?
Shut up. I liked the fight. God, when even was it? I think after the tomb, when we were leaving, we slept in somebody's rat hole, and we were accosted by Rasta C or his goons or something saying, "Hey, give me that thing you got." I don't remember what that thing was, and there was a whole fucking fuckery with suggestion and dominate and
I do remember
shit.
that. So
It started with a subtle fireball. It was great.
I don't remember the subtle fireball.
No, I do. I didn't remember it until he said that.
I do remember the suggestions. I can't remember the name of the item, but it was one of the incredibly expensive treasures that you can find inside of the Tomb of the Nine Gods. It was like some obsidian or black opal or something like that.
It was a crown.
It was
Black opal crown, I think, maybe?
It might have been the black opal crown.
Didn't I keep that?
Oh yeah, because that's the thing that lets you teleport outside of the dungeon, right?
No.
Aren't they all mundane?
No, I'm thinking of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage.
I think I
Wasn't there some?
had that.
It was the black opal crown. Fabled treasures, black opal crown. The Yuan-Ti nightmare speaker Fenthaza believes that the black opal crown can awaken Dendar the night serpent. So it wasn't Rosnasi that accosted you, it was actually Fenthaza. So by the time you left the Tomb of the Nine Gods, Fenthaza had actually run Rosnasi out of the Fane of the Night Serpent. And Fenthaza brought a bunch of Yuan-Ti to attack you. I don't remember the subtle fireball, but I remember Fenthaza suggesting to you, via the suggestion spell, that you should hand the crown over to her people. and then you did, and then as soon as the spell ended, you attacked them.
Yep.
So I do remember that being a really cool encounter. Fuck.
Storm King's Thunder and Curse of Strahd are still tied. So I think that leaves us.
That allows us to pick.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give that until tomorrow, and then we'll see what's in the lead.
Time to open up my botnet.
Here, let me at everyone. No. Every time I try to at everyone, it's like, did you mean Kyle?
So that's my least favorite campaign and my favorite campaign.
That's kind of funny as hell.
Like, fuck. It sucks. I hate it.
Well, it can just be a whole thing of fuck. Here was all the problems with Storm King's Thunder. This is
but
fucking
so many people disagree with us.
Fuck Lob. Fuck.
At some point during one of our streams, I can't remember which one it was. Oh no, I think it was session 0 of Dragon of Icespire Peak. There are comments who are like, "What the fuck? You hate Storm King's Thunder? Why? Like, I thought it was a great campaign. It just needed a little work." It's like, it needed all the work.
It was a dum-dum.
So my number one complaint with Storm King's Thunder was
Save it for the Storm King's Thunder talk.
Save it. No, seriously, save it.
Vote for Storm King's Thunder and you'll get to hear his final thoughts.
If you want to hear his final thoughts. If you don't like the thing you like being shit on, don't watch the next one. How about that? If you want to hear us love a campaign, vote for Curse of Strahd. We'll talk about that one. We love Curse of Strahd.
Ian, would you kindly stop staring?
Yeah, you're really freaking out, like, everyone, me included, and I'm not even, like, you're not even looking at me. So
remember that fucking subtle suggestion, would you kindly?
I do remember that.
That was a fun sorcerer.
Lunariah asks, have I ever thought about running a monster campaign? No, I haven't.
No, you thought about running an evil campaign.
I thought about running an evil campaign, never monster.
What would a monster campaign be? Just we're all monstrous races?
Yeah.
Either monstrous races or like
Monsters.
I homebrew races for like legit monsters. Like
I call Maggot Man.
that's not a monster.
No,
that's a
that's
big
not a
bad
race.
fucking evil
Dude,
guy.
I wanted to be on-
Dibs on Beholder.
There's a beholder. Jeez.
Xanathar. Not even
You
Until-
are
until
the
you-
Xanathar.
So someone just casts Dream on you and you die.
Yep.
Oh my god, what would I even
Wait, I
No,
thought
no.
that made more.
No, you don't die. You just make more.
How do you run a monster?
Oh, wait, I
Sounds like
thought,
the
if
opposite
you
of a
dream,
problem.
I thought if you dream of your end, you die. You make one that kills you or something like that.
Oh god, can they literally dream of their own death and just die?
Beholders are stupid.
Beholders are dumb.
I dream about me dying all the time.
I thought
like,
dreaming of their own was their
Hold
their
up.
death was
Lunariah
made
says
to-
Maggot Guy is an elder evil. Hold up. Who the fuck are you talking about? Because Maggot Man
Was
is
a homebrew
the
bullshit.
player's nickname for a homebrew big bad evil guy named...
Wait,
Oh yeah, he
this
is up there.
guy.
He
This
is up
guy,
there.
his face
Yeah,
is
he's been in the-
upside down, he's
Yeah.
creepy as all
His
shit.
actual name is the Man with the Upside Down Mask.
He's Maggot Man.
And he is the combination of a human warlock named Maggot and a spirit named... Oh,
Bam.
fuck. Oh, Jesus, what's his name? It's
if
not
you guys
Yoruishi,
vote
is
for
it?
the homebrew, make sure you drink enough because it's really cringy to listen to people talk about their homebrews.
It's true.
So please drink a lot.
Curse of Strahd's in the lead.
Ooh, is it? Yay!
But we're gonna give it a... We're gonna give it a 24 hours.
Oh man, that means we need Chris.
And by 24, I mean 12 hours. We'll check it tomorrow morning, see where it's at, and then we'll decide. So you've got until tomorrow at whenever the fuck we wake up. It's Saturday. I don't know
Oh,
why.
dude, it's Saturday. I'm not waking up till like 1.
Exactly. You have until we wake up to vote, and then we'll pick a topic for next week's last call. But thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thanks for watching. We've had viewers in the teens.
And this is with no...
Tim, what is Last Call? Last Call of the Gilded Troll is our talk show / podcast where we talk about our previous campaigns, how we liked them, and what we didn't do. What we
Or
liked, what we
anything
didn't
else
like.
that you guys can suggest. If you have any other topics that aren't just our campaigns,
You join
think
us
we
for
should
the
talk
stream,
about,
you ask
maybe we'll look
questions
into
real
it.
time.
Yep.
Right. And then anything else you want to hear after the fact, you post in the Discord.
Oh my
And we'll
god,
talk
Tim,
about
it's
that.
like 2 a.m. Go to bed.
Tim! I love you, go to bed.
What?
Was it Daltino?
Da Ultino. Was it Da Ultino?
And that's just a
All right,
name that I
It
remember.
all right,
was,
that's
yes.
more homebrew shit. All
No.
right, relax.
No, it wasn't Daltina. It was not
Relax.
Daltina.
No, he was one of the spirits, wasn't he?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, he was.
the man with the upside down mask
Um,
is Maggot and a spirit.
I'm gonna do my closing,
Oh.
so relax, okay? If you're watching this on Twitch, check out our YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out our Twitch. We have a few streams that are already like in their entirety on our YouTube, which include Dragon of Icefire Peak, some Qualish,
Dungeon Man Mage.
Dungeon of the Mad Mages in its entirety.
Hmm.
Check out our Discord. The link is down below. The players and the DM talk like all day on that. So if you have questions, if you just want to talk, like we're there. There's a DM hotline. So if you like the way that Ian DMs, you can message him on there. I think
Also,
that's it.
we play Avernus on
Yes.
on Twitch on Roll20 every Monday at 5:30 p.m. And then we do this show, Last Call at the Gilded Troll, Fridays at 7 p.m. It's me, Steph, and Luke, and then one guest each week,
Mhm.
where we talk about a previous campaign or whatever
Looks like
fucking
I'm guest.
topic. So yeah, join us on Mondays and Fridays. And we'll see you then.
Stay safe. Stay inside. For Christ's sake, if you're outside, like, go die. Unless you're essential.
Okay, that's a little
Holy
bit.
Wow.
That
A little
escalated.
heavy-handed.
I'm
Well,
so
heavy-handed.
tired of reading the news. If you're essential, God love you. Stay inside if you're not.
Holy shit.
Watch our stream. There's plenty of content.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
We'll end on